That was the Taira family. This was called the Heiki. Can we say that? Heiki. That's where the emperor was. And this is the samurai. They're called the Genji. Now, a long time ago, the samurai, they did not want the Taira family. They did not want the Heiki family to rule Japan anymore because they were powerful. They were powerful. There was many of them, and they were very rich, and they were very strong. But they were not nice to everybody else. They were not nice to the poor people. And the samurai said, we do not want them to rule anymore. So the Taira, they were in some boats. You see the boats? You see the boats? See that? All right. They had white flags. The Heiki had white flags. See, they're in the boats down here. All right. And they came down to Shimonoseki, and they were going down the Kanmon Strait. And right behind them were the Genji. They're chasing. See the red flags? See that? See the red flags? They were chasing them in their boats down the Kanmon Strait. And they had arrows. And they were shooting arrows at each other. The Taira were shooting arrows at the Minamoto. And the Minamoto were shooting arrows at the Taira. And they were killing each other, trying to fight the battle and win. And they were floating down. They were floating down in boats, down the Kanmon Strait like this. And they were floating down. And they were floating down in these boats. You see this? And here, the Genji, the samurai, they were following them right along the coast of Shimonoseki. They were following them down in their boats. They were very strong. And they were winning. They were shooting and killing a lot of the samurai. And a lot of the samurai were dying. All right. But all of a sudden, something happened. Look at these pictures. All of a sudden, the water was going this direction, and it changed, and it came the other direction. Kanmon Strait is very famous for the water changing. It changes several times a day. Sometimes it's going this way, and then it turns around and goes this way. All of a sudden, the current changed. And their boats, they came floating the opposite direction. And they started mixing up with the Genji and the Heiki like this. They all started mixing up together like this in the middle of Kanmon Strait. And then the Genji started shooting at the Heiki. See, that's this picture right here. They started shooting arrows at each other. If we can shoot the people that were rowing the boats, they shot them like this, and then they died. Can we all die? All die. Come on, we're rowers. We died. We died. Come on, fall over. We're dead. Oh, like this. All of a sudden, the Genji started winning. The Genji started winning. Right? The Taira boats, they started sinking because there was nobody to row their boats. They started sinking. So who is winning? Red. There's more red ones. That means the Genji were strong. Can we do that? The Genji were strong. They were winning the battle. On one of the boats of Heiki was the emperor. He was like the king. He was like the king of Japan. And his name was Antoku. All right, can we all say that together? Antoku. He was only 5 years old. Now, the Genji thought, if we can capture the Emperor Antoku, then we can rule all of Japan. So the Genji, they surrounded the boat where Emperor Antoku was. Right? Emperor Antoku. Now on that boat was the Emperor's mommy and the Emperor's nurse and lots of the very, very important women that were part of the royal family. And when they thought that, oh no, they're going to capture us. Oh no, what are we going to do? You know what they decided to do? They jumped into the water. See, right here. There's Emperor Antoku right here. And that is his nanny. The nanny told Emperor Antoku, we are going to the palace that is underneath the ocean. This happened right next to Shimonoseki. And the other women, they jumped into the water and they tried to kill themselves too because they did not want to be captured by the Genji. They carried the sword, the mirror, and the jewel with them because they did not want the Genji to capture them, because they did not want the Genji to rule Japan. So they took these things and they jumped into the water and it started to sink. Just at that time, the Genji took a rake and scraped it into the water like this, and they captured some of the women, and they were able to save the mirror and the jewel. But did you know that the sword sunk to the bottom of the strait? And did you know that even today, the sword of the Taira, the Heiki royal family, is still in the Strait of Shimonoseki?